So, Corinne, I've heard this term Roth IRA and then traditional IRA. What's the difference and how do I know which one I should be investing in?
Roth versus traditional really comes down to taxes. And one thing to note is that we can have traditional IRAs, traditional 401ks. We can have Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks. So the whole traditional Roth question is less about the type of retirement account that you're using and more about how you want to handle the taxes that come along with that retirement account. So, in the case of a traditional retirement account, you invest your money into that account, usually, let's just say in a 401k directly from your paycheck. And then that money builds and grows because it's invested. And then in the future, you pay taxes on that money when you take it out in retirement. With a Roth account, say a Roth 401k, you put money into that account, also directly from your paycheck. But the difference is that you already pay taxes on that money before it even goes into the account. Same thing happens once it's inside. It builds, it grows because it's invested. In the future, when you take that money out in retirement, you don't have to pay taxes on it then because you already took care of the taxes in the beginning. So the question here is, do you want to pay taxes on the seed in the case of a Roth, or do you want to pay taxes on the harvest in the case of a traditional?
So, is there one that's typically going to end up costing me less in taxes, or do they come out about even?
Whether you're going to pay more in taxes using traditional or Roth depends on a few different things. So, the first thing is, how much money are you making right now? And the other is, how much do you think you'll be needing in retirement? Like, how much money you're going to be taking out of that account in retirement. So, what we generally recommend is to put as much money as you can into your Roth accounts first. And the reason is if you can do that, then it doesn't really matter quite as much what the tax situation will be in the future because you know you won't have to pay taxes on it then. It's going to grow tax-free up until the point that you need it. And that can be a really wonderful thing. Once you start making a lot of money currently, that's when you might want to consider putting some money into a traditional account because it will reduce how much you pay in taxes now. But broadly speaking, Roth is where it's at. That's where we want to put our money first.
So, Corinne, are there any rules around these Roth and traditional accounts that I need to be aware of?
There are some things to take into consideration. So one of the advantages to a Roth account is that you can take out the money that you put into that account, like the initial contributions that you put into that account, generally after 5 years. Once you've established the account, you started funding it. So that's really nice. Like if you need to access that money, you can do that in, we would say, in an emergency situation when you've tried everything else. The other thing to consider here is RMDs. So these are the required minimum distributions that we'll hear about sometimes. You need to take those into account with traditional IRAs and traditional 401ks. And there's an element here too that you have to consider for Roth 401ks too when it comes to RMDs, which we can talk through. That's really easy to navigate around. And then the final thing too is that the IRS sets income limits for these accounts, which just means that at a certain point, your income is going to affect how much you can contribute or if you can contribute at all. So the thing here is that investing can be really easy. It's the taxes on those investments that can get complicated. And that's where we can come in and help you to figure out not just how your money's invested, which we can certainly do, but perhaps more importantly, how will taxes impact your investments, whether inside a retirement account or outside of it?